Now we're ready for Precept 7, the power of the present. So we've heard this term, being present. There was be here now, the power of now. There's the present moment. There's something about now that is powerful. And what is that? What is that about? Most of the time, our mind is moving in a direction that we're not even consciously following. It could be dwelling in the past, something that someone said, something really good, a date you had, or maybe something bad like a fight. Or maybe your mind's projecting into the future, imagining what the next date would be, or what that next discussion might be about. So when we've watched human behavior and we study the mind, we see that the mind goes off all the time. And sometimes it goes off one place consciously and another place subconsciously. You might have several activities going on in your mind. But when you bring yourself into what we call the present moment, when you come into now, when you become the witness, when you become conscious of how conscious you are, you reconnect. And so we're going to develop this some more. Now, one of the reasons we go into our old programs is associations are made with every single experience you have. And you hold different imprints in different parts of your brain. So there's a part of your brain that has fear imprints, another part that has anger imprints, jealousy or hate or pride, as well as very many positive ones as well. If you were to take an electrode and simply open up the skull a little bit and touch that part of your brain, that memory or that fear, that emotion, the associative memories and feelings will be activated. You stimulate the neurons that hold the memory, just like chips in a computer. But these chips aren't soldered in. They're chemical bonds called synapses. And you can literally disengage those connections or those associative patterns and create new patterns. And 50 units of positive energy can neutralize 50 units of negative energy. And so what we can do is move energy through our intention to a part of our brain where this association of a certain emotion is, and literally diffuse it or create flux, create a new possibility to reconfigure and create a new perspective, a new idea, a new understanding. And so let's take a deep breath and hold this intention that we are going to create some new thought forms and allow ones we don't want, and you just decide which ones those will be. And in doing so, we will be less subjugated by our old programming and be able to form new patterns that bring more joy and happiness and peace into our life. So that being said, let's get started. Take a deep breath and let's hold this intention that we are ready, willing, and able to allow our mind to be maybe reconfigured. Not the way I think your mind should be configured, but the way you want it to be configured. Presumably, we want more joy, happiness, and peace, less negative and emotional and reactive responses. So breathe in, and let's engage the presence. Let's realize we are not alone, that there is a divine presence within us and around us, guiding us all the time. And it guided you to be here with me right now. Thank God. So breathe in and let's connect with that volition. Let's connect with the source of life itself within us that is us and become aware of that volition and that life force guiding us and let it guide us through the meditation. And as you breathe out, just allow yourself to let go and to go into flow. Like we're stepping into a hot bubbling jacuzzi. And just feel that warm, bubbly sensation lapping up and let yourself enjoy it. That's the key to the meditation. It's the allowing. It's not the doing. I want to invite you to breathe in. And let's hold the intention that whatever it is that is in our mind that doesn't serve us, we'll allow our mind to create new thoughts and ideas that we like better, that you like better, the ones that you think would be the best. What would be the highest and best good? So you have to create the condition in your mind that you're ready, willing, and able to create a new way of thinking or there may be some walls or resistance to change. So ask yourself now, do I sincerely feel like I'm ready for that change and to overcome any resistance and allow new patterns to form? And if it's a yes, I invite you to take a deep breath again. Breathe in and open your heart. And now close your eyes and gaze into your mind's eye. And allow yourself to just melt into the feeling. Allow yourself to dissolve into the feeling. Just let yourself go. Let yourself flow. Roll your eyes up. Gaze into your mind's eye. And now it will be easy, effortless, and enjoyable. And this energy will continue to flow all through the meditation. As you hear the sound of my voice, notice how the energy is going into your head, and your head may begin to buzz. You're going to feel your kundalini flowing and this pleasant, buzzy sensation, the feeling of your spirit alive within you, and I invite you to embrace it and enjoy it and commune with it. This is the Pentecost. This is where you open up. And just like in the story of the Pentecost, you might hear the sound of a mighty rushing wind. You might feel a moving or shaking in your body. You might see light around people's heads even. So these things happen as your Kundalini is awakening. The Pentecost was a Kundalini awakening. As they connect with the Holy Spirit, the spiritual awareness began to open up within the apostles. And this happens in spiritual scriptures all over the world. We see that as you awaken, and this is what's happening to you now. So breathe in and feel this light awakening from within you. And now go as the witness and look at your mind and observe the thoughts. Observe the sound of my voice. Observe the energy moving into your mind. Observe your mind recognizing the thoughts or the words, and the thoughts created by the words, and the sequence of these words and thoughts creating ideas. And now you can step back and say, do I understand this idea? And now I want you to turn around and say, well, what part of you is observing this and that can discern whether you understand or not? Let's connect with this witness or observer. Breathe in. And from this place now, whether your eyes are open or closed, I want to invite you to go inside your mind and say, well, let's heal ourselves. Let's find what it is inside us that we don't need anymore. Let's explore and kind of purge ourselves like an emotional cleanse. So this could be very cathartic. If you feel crying or moving or sounds, there's all kinds of things that might want to open up. Just let it out and let it go. It's a very healthy and natural thing. Breathe down into your belly. And now let's scan in. Let's go into the very lowest. Let's start with the worst. I mean, has there ever been a time where you just didn't want to live? That you just hated yourself or were very ashamed of yourself or felt very guilty or felt you were unworthy? This actually happens to a lot of people. I've experienced it too. I felt like I wanted to kill myself. And this is happening to a lot of people. And there's so much that can be done. But the first thing you need to do is see that you have that thinking and see how aberrant that thinking is and how self-absorbed it is and how it doesn't serve you anymore. So imagine sometime, wherever it is in your head that you hold such thoughts, you can perhaps imagine a time, what age were you when you first felt such a thought? Was it recent or as a child? And just go to that part of your brain. Go to the image of what you looked like when you felt like you didn't like yourself or you didn't feel worthy or good enough, like you were wrong or bad, or there was just something like you were so embarrassed or so upset. Go there and go to that part of your brain like you would go to your own child. Think of your brain like a 6-year-old and go over and imagine you're hugging this part of your latent memory that still feels hurt or still feels bad, and bring love into that part of your brain. So this is done symbolically, obviously, but it creates the effect in your neural networks. So wherever you're holding the I'm not good enough, first of all, you got to see that freed up. So imagine these brain cells like they're kind of like globular sea urchin, a brain cell, a neuron, isn't necessarily completely round. It has different branches coming out of it that are soft. The axons are the longer ones and the dendrites are the smaller ones, and they tend to connect with other neurons, forming chains or patterns, which energy going through, which is what we call thought, and the emotions that are associated with the chemicals released, such as dopamine and serotonin and so forth. So we can just watch this go on, and that in itself helps us create a perspective and a state from which we can deal with whatever that problem is. You deal with it in a better perspective. So go to this part of your brain that feels it's unworthy or not good enough or whatever, and just take a deep breath into your belly. And first of all, don't take it too seriously. Don't take yourself too seriously. Don't get all caught up in yourself. Don't get egoic on me, okay? Let's just go into where it hurts and bring love into there and make it clear to you, this part of your brain that's nonsense. And there's no reason that you should feel guilty or ashamed. If you've done something in the past, we probably all have, you can make penance within yourself, make amends when you can, and move on and heal from the experience. This pain doesn't serve you anymore. So breathe in and now feel, what is it like if you felt good about yourself? Just imagine what that would feel like. Let that part of your brain experience that, just like you wouldn't want your child to go through life feeling unworthy. Don't let a part of your brain feel that way either. You have responsibility to your mind to create good thoughts. So breathe into your mind and see yourself healing and getting aligned and knowing that you're worthy, that we're all worthy, we wouldn't be here. We're all here to learn and grow and evolve. And as you breathe out, see that little child, that image in your mind of whenever it was you've identified with not being good enough, and see it smiling. Give your brain the association. See the new neural networks where there were axons and dendrites connecting, forming a pattern of I'm not good enough. See them all disengaging. There's a great movie called What the Bleep, where they have a computer animation that shows this happening, where the neurons disengaged, and the new insight formed a new pattern, so this person didn't hold that old idea anymore. The energy didn't flow the same way. So let's hold the pattern that we are worthy, that we're here to do good work. We're here to do the best we can. We're here to bring more light into the world, and to do so, we need to bring more light into ourselves, into how we think about ourselves. And it doesn't serve us to have a bad opinion about ourselves. And if we see things that need to change, we work to change them. But we realize that this is a part of our life experience, and we do the best we can. And every day we get a new opportunity to do better. I get an opportunity every day. I'm not perfect, but God gives me the opportunity every day to become more loving, to become more compassionate, to serve as a greater vehicle. And you have that same opportunity too. So breathe in and see yourself feeling worthy. There's nothing that you're not ashamed. You don't have to be ashamed of your body. You don't have to feel guilty about anything, who you are, what you've done, anything about you. Just see yourself for as you are. You don't need to go the other extreme and puff yourself up either. But just see that, okay, I've got imprints. And there's things I'm changing, and there's things I'm good at, but I don't need to hold this idea that I'm not good enough. Breathe into your belly and just tell yourself, I'm okay about me. I love me. God made me the way I am. I respect this temple. And feel good about yourself. Just imagine what that's like, feeling good. And clear that I'm not good enough, that guilt and that shame out of your body. And what does that feel like now? The next area we want to go, and I'm referring to Dr. David Hawkins' scale of consciousness. Dr. Hawkins was a physician, a psychologist that studied consciousness in psychology, and he recognized that we operate at different levels of consciousness. Dr. Hawkins and I did a seminar together, matter of fact, in Sedona, Arizona. We had 500 people, and we were able to move them by a number of degrees up into a higher level of consciousness, and we could measure it before and after and see these dramatic results, so we know that it works. So if you're holding these negative imprints like I'm not good enough and you feel ashamed or guilty, that's like down, that's below 100. That's about as low as you want to be. If you want to kill yourself, that's a very, very low energy in it. You got to make sure you don't hold that energy in your body. The next thing that most people need to deal with is this feeling of sadness or grief, deep grieving. We hold on to pain. If we're holding on to the pain and the grieving, we're not letting the love in. So we have to understand that that's not serving us. So I want you, again, to go into your mind and say, well, where am I in pain? Where am I in sadness? Where am I grieving? What am I all upset about? Where is that? Go there. We want to send that part of you some love. So go into your mind. Where do you have an association that just stands out with a great deal of sadness? And just picture that child or that person. Again, use the visualization. And talk to that child and give it the clarity that you don't need to hold on to the sadness anymore. You're holding on to sadness is really ignorance of the love and the light that is waiting for you. That the kingdom is here, that God is here, that the divine presence is here, or however you want to say it. So breathe in with me now and feel it. Open your heart to feeling that divine presence. Bring your hands up and let that love in so it can heal that part of you that feels sad or is grieving or doesn't feel good enough or just feels bad. Just feel good. Let the good feeling in, and that light will dispel the darkness. And the insight will create the new neural networks. So if you go back into feeling sad, you go, well, why ignore God anymore? Why should I ignore or deny the light that could be shining through me? Because my brain has an old energy imprint about sadness. There's no point. So from now on, as you breathe in, and you can bring your hands back down when you're ready, I want your mind to hold the imprint that if you're sad, you don't need to stay sad. If you're grieving, that's okay. It's natural, things happen, but it's pointing out something for you to look at, but also to let go of. And when you let go, the pain will ease. So letting go is a big part of transcending our limiting beliefs and fears. So breathe in and see yourself happy. Picture yourself as a happy person. Give your brain the template or the blueprint that it needs. And see yourself as a happy person that feels good about themselves. Create that. Write it out in your journal now and write out who's the person you want to be. You want to be, look at the examples. I look at Jesus, I look at Buddha, I look at the Maharishi, the Maharaj, parental figures, different teachers I've had, and I try and emulate different aspects of them that I see. It'd be good for you to do that too. Give your brain like the script, and then rehearse the part of the person you want to be. If you sincerely want to be that person, then that's sincerely you. And you just have to bring that into your thoughts, words, and actions, and into your programming. And that's what we're doing right here, right now. So start to write out what you like about yourself and about others and what you'd like to be more like. And now go into your brain. We've talked about unworthiness. We've talked about sadness. What about fear? Fear is an interesting emotion because it's totally an illusion. Fear is I've heard it said that it's a false expectation that appears real. Fear, a false expectation that appears real. So you're reacting to something that may or may not happen in the future, typically. And sometimes by putting your attention on something you're fearing, you're actually creating it, so it doesn't serve you to be fearful. But if you come back to that light, you know you can let go of how you think it has to be or what needs to happen and trust God, to let go and let God, then you will be guided. And to the degree you let go and let God, you will be guided. So take a deep breath right now and just say you know you're protected and guided by the divine in all your activities, day and night, in all places. And it's okay to have a vision or a desire or an intention that you want to fulfill, a goal to go after. But then if you let go of your attachment to it, you will often find that you're being guided to something better. And this is what most people don't understand. Most of our desires are created in the brain that actually create obstacles. But when we let go and let God guide us, we're brought into a greater abundance, a greater place of joy and love and peace than we can even imagine. So breathe in and let's repeat and make sure our mind understands that we are protected and guided by the divine. There's no reason to hold on to the past. Any of the sadness that you're holding on to that you can release, any of the fear that you're holding on to, you can release, and just know that you'll be guided to whatever is best for you, and stay aware that so you are guided. Does that make sense? So if you can think of the little boy or girl in your brain that was really scared at one time, if you can go to the place, because that's where the associative memory is of all your other fears. Go there and let's bring love into that space. Take a deep breath and let me support you in clearing out the fear. Sometimes people have a fear of failure, a fear of being embarrassed, a fear of being a loser, of trying to do something and it not working out. Look, you can never fail if you don't give up, and all your life experiences are there to help you. So you have nothing to fear. You just have more learning experiences. Even Michael Jordan, the great athlete, the basketball player, said, hey, I only became the champion that I became through all the misses I made, all the mistakes. I'm paraphrasing. And so the idea is you have to expect that everything doesn't go the way you think. And what you think isn't the point. It's what you're here to learn and grow, how you can serve others. So breathe into your heart right now and just see in your mind that there's nothing to fear and that you are being guided and you're protected, and it's just going to get better and better and better. So your mind holds that intention and it holds that vision, and it then begins to manifest that in your life. Again, breathe down into your belly. So what is the next emotion? It's usually anger. So anger, it can get pretty intense. There's different degrees of anger. But what do you get angry about? You realize anger is really just you not being with God. It's usually a punishment that we inflict upon ourselves due to somebody else's mistake. So it's kind of silly to be angry. If you simply look at anger and say, this is a reminder for me to get back on my knees, to get humble, to let go and let God. And maybe someone's screwing up and I need to communicate clearly, but I should be communicating and acting from a place of higher awareness. Don't try and communicate from that place of anger. Come back into yourself. Come back into that place of peace and let your discussions with your children and your spouse and your subordinates or superiors or students or teachers or whoever you're interacting with, let it be from a place of higher consciousness. Don't let your communication be from anger. The first principle in yoga, in Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, is ahimsa. It means non-violence in thought, word, and action to yourself and others. And it's a beautiful precept. We shouldn't hold anger because it's a low vibration. It diminishes the light. So breathe in and let's bring your hands up again. And let's do some healing into your heart. Where has there been anger? And let's let that anger go as you breathe out. Let go and forgive. Let the anger go and all the fear and all the sadness and all the grief and all the I'm not good enough or guilt and all that self-absorption. Just let go of it. Just stop thinking of all that stuff. You don't need it anymore. Breathe in and let the love in. Feel the love flushing it out like a light dispelling darkness. And now bring your hands back down. And so just feel that like your body and mind being free of all that negativity. And now let's go into pride. And this is the sneaky one. This is the one that my advanced students have the most trouble with because there becomes that sense of I can do it on my own. I don't need help. I don't need a guru. I don't need a teacher. I don't need, or I already know. And boy, the I, it just takes over and you don't even know it. It's insidious. It's sneaky. I know. I've experienced it. Thank God I had a guru and I had a guidance that not only kept me in line, that keeps me in line. And sometimes I slip up too. And that's why we have each other. So take a deep breath and say, well, where have you been prideful? Where have you had to prove yourself? Where have you put on a mask to try and be someone you're not? Where do you have to be right or make someone wrong? You know, where do you have to have a say, or where are you pissing people off? I mean, where do you think your pride is? Do you not have any pride? It's good to feel good about your work and yourself, But when we talk about pride, we're really talking about where it's getting in the way, don't we? When our ego is getting in the way, when it becomes all about us, when we become narcissistic, when we think it has to be our way, when we're not willing to compromise, or we just get full of ourselves. And that probably happens to all of us, at least a little bit, maybe sometimes. So go inside your mind and say, well, where do I get prideful? Where do I have to prove something? Where do I have to be something? Where's this me I'm having? Who's this me I'm having to be, and why? And why not just let it all go and be who you are and accept yourself in life and live in the light? The ego is what creates the pain. You're perfect the way you are. Your mind may have an idea of who else it thinks it should be, or someone else might have an idea, but you're just fine as you are. And once you realize who you are, you won't care about all this other stuff. You won't have to live your life to prove anything to others or be something. You can just be and live in that light and then share that light with everyone, and that's what brings more light into the world. So I invite you again, bring your hands up, take a deep breath. Let's come back into that sacred space and see that we've just cleared out all this negativity. It's like, it's not in our, it's latent, maybe, there's like a shadow memory in the deep recess of our subconscious, but it's not in our active memory. See yourself like stepping out of those old paradigms, and if you ever like downgrade into that negative thought form again, just pop out of it, come back into here, and know that you can. So breathe in and see your brain reconfiguring and creating a new understanding, a greater awareness, putting things in perspective and really getting that you are not your thoughts and you don't have to react to your thoughts. And so what kind of thoughts now do we want to have? We started the class looking at the kind of thoughts we don't want to have and clearing them out and allowing our mind to create new patterns. Well, let's have some fun creating some really positive experiences and positive imprints for our brain. I like to call them thought forms, because what you think, you create. So let's think about what we want to create, and that will be your journaling assignment. It'll be thinking about what you want to create. So take a deep breath, gaze into your mind's eye, and first of all, I invite you to repeat as an affirmation whatever I'm suggesting to you. I'm going to give you suggestions, and I want to invite you to both. We're going to use some NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. I want you to picture it, visualize it. If there are sounds you can associate with it, if there's a feeling, a smell, a taste, a touch, an emotion, make it as real. Imagine it that it's happening. Give your brain like you're going to create the movie of what your life is like. So take a deep breath again and really engage your consciousness and speak to your mind. And let's first intend and hold this affirmation that you are protected and guided by the divine in all your activities, day and night, in all places. That's one of the main ones we want to hold. Breathe in and just know you're being guided. The fact that you're here listening to me is a sign of that. So all we got to do is keep developing that. I am protected and guided by the divine in all my activities, day and night, in all places. So just see that understanding being set in your mind and ask your brain, will I remember that I'm protected and guided by the divine an hour from now, a day from now, a month from now, a year from now? Is that really clear? Have I really allowed it to sink into my brain, that protection and guidance, to recognize that you are being guided? Because from now on through the rest of your life, if you ever stray or fall from this piece or get off track, all you got to do is come back now. You just reconnect like you are right now. So the other one is that you are healthy. See your body and mind as being healthy. Picture yourself in perfect health and well-being, living in prosperity, living with happiness, living with peace, seeing yourself being successful and prosperous, and because you're giving so much value, see yourself contributing and that you're being appreciated, and that this is creating a greater value for others, which is making you more valuable, that is ending up not only creating a value in the work you're doing, but also a monetary value. You're being compensated and rewarded and supported so you can continue doing this work. And you're being guided to the people and the places and the situations where you can help others. So as I give you these suggestions, I want to invite you to reflect on them first, decide whether you want to hold them, add to them, modify them, or negate them if you like. Create a different one. But you're probably going to like them. Let's breathe in and say, well, I hope and I intend and I aspire to bring out the highest and best good for myself and others. I am henceforth going to move forward to let the divine move through me, to help guide my way of thinking and feeling and speaking and acting, and that I will be ever present to seeing how I'm being guided by looking to see how I'm being guided. The more you look, the more you'll see. If you don't ask yourself, well, how am I being guided in this situation? Why is this showing up? What's the test? What am I holding on to? What's the lesson? What's the solution? You may not come to those answers. But if you stop and reflect, if you become conscious, it'll all just flow quite naturally. So see that in your mind, that you're becoming more conscious every day. You're meditating every day. Your more joy and love and peace is accruing. The stress is releasing. More opportunities are going. You're into creative flow. There's a dance in your step. You're even looking good. Stress lines. You're eating good food. You're eating organic, natural food. You're not eating polluting foods. You're not hurting your body. There's some exercise, fresh air, laughter, fellowship of good friends, people you love. There's lots of love. Picture yourself being loved. See yourself loving and being loved. So see the love in your life. And don't worry about who and when and where and why. If you feel you need more love or from who, don't come from a place of being empty in love. Go to the resource of love which is within yourself. And from this place of overflowing, let that love be the attractive force that draws to you then the people that are meant to share your life, that you can share with, that will help progress your evolution in consciousness. Because that's really why we're here. All our experiences, all our relationships are here to help us learn and grow and evolve, to realize our full potential, to realize ourselves. That's why we're here. So knowing that, picture in your mind's eye that you're learning, growing, and evolving, and that you're getting it, and that anytime something comes up, you see it as a test, you're doing the journaling, the introspection, you're getting it, you're moving on, and so you will rise to the level of your own resistance. And so as you continue to recalibrate to a higher level of consciousness, different life experiences show themselves to point out whatever it is you need to see so you can let go of it. And as you let go of it, you can move up to the next level. So let's see if we can go to the next level. Let's do one more meditation. Let's go back into the sensation and the feeling and the love. So open your eyes for a moment, if you haven't already done so, and just gaze into my eyes. And now close your eyes and draw your attention to your third eye. Take a deep breath. And as you breathe out, feel this life force energy beginning to move. Feel it flowing up the spine, and like a sprinkler, it's moving up and out. And where it comes up and out, well, we call this the halo, right? Or the aura. And sometimes you see it as like a disc. Sometimes artists have painted like a disc. Usually it's about a foot, 6 inches to a foot above the head. That's where the energy actually goes from going up to fanning out. It refracts, and then it envelops the body like an egg. It comes around and then back in through the tailbone at the negative charge, and back up the spine, out the head. So let's practice that. As you gaze into your third eye, I want you to breathe in and feel the life force pulling up from your tailbone all the way up the spine. So as you're coming to the very end of your inhalation, you're all the way at the crown. And as you exhale, imagine the energy now moving out like a sprinkler out of the top of your head and enveloping your body in a cocoon of golden white light. Coming in at the tailbone again. Inhale and pull the energy up your spine very gently as you inhale through the nose. Picture the light flowing up your spine. And as you exhale, feel the light like spraying out. A fountain of light around your head. Just go up into that feeling of your crown chakra opening up, all this light flowing out. And again, enveloping your body, coming in at the tailbone. Again, breathing in, take a deep breath up through the nose, expanding your belly as you inhale. So this is like a Kriya breath. And as you exhale, feel the energy flowing out the top of your head and around your body and back down. I was very fortunate to study with many Kriya masters, including Chuni La Lahiri, the great-grandson of Lahiri Mahasaya, the founder. And this whole idea of moving energy through your body helps open up the nadis and the chakras, and any places where things are held inside, you can release them and open them up. So as you breathe in, feel the opening up through the spine. And as you exhale, feel the opening at the top of the head, and like your spirit is set free, like Tinkerbells come out. Just feel your head opening up and the energy now coming around your body again. One more breath up the spine. Pull the energy up, 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 all the way to the crown. And as you breathe out, let the light out. Feel that light growing even brighter. And now just focus on the feeling there. Go into the light. Dissolve into the feeling. Observe the feeling. And then observe the part of you observing the feeling. And then be the feeling. The energy you're feeling is you. The body comes and goes, but the body remains the same. The spirit is eternal. The consciousness is whole. It's just appearing and expressing through the form you call you. So breathe in and feel that connection. And as you breathe out, bring this awareness back into your physiology, into your body, into your mind, into the memory of your cells. Observe the energy in your body. Can you feel the energy between your hands? Maybe you can measure it. And see that this life force is still growing in you. And it will continue to get stronger. This light will get brighter as you continue to practice. So may you enjoy good health, long life, prosperity, happiness, and peace. May the whole world live in happiness and peace. You are protected and guided by the divine in all your activities, day and night, in all places. Amen. So continue to think about in your journaling now, what are those ways of thinking, perspectives, attitudes, beliefs, intentions, thoughts, emotions, words, actions that inspire you, that you would like to uphold, that you would like to adhere to and manifest. And just write them down. Start thinking about it. And as you think about it, and then you'll modify this, you'll have experiences in life that will help critique you, so to speak. It will show you the way. The way is being shown to you. So keep track of it through your journal, and each day you get a chance to improve, and life just gets better and better and better. God bless you.